Hi, thank you very much for staying tuned to the NTA. My name is Cecil, and you've just succeeded in tuning on to the Medley Show. Now, by popular demand, we will be continuing from where we stopped last week. Remember last week, we talked about online and offline security. We had a cybersecurity expert here, Murtala Abdullahi, who educated us a lot about what we need to know about staying safe online. And since we're almost always on our devices, we should be mindful of what we click. Yeah, he told us so much about it, and your questions kept coming in. Of course, we also had Chris Idoko, a security expert also, who actually told us about how we can stay safe. Now, by popular demand, I saw many of your messages after the program, many of you asking that your questions have not been answered, and you needed to know more. So we thought, okay, why don't we have continue the discussion today? All right, so today we'll still continue from where we left off last week. A quick reminder of one or two things that we talked about. I learned from Murtala, the cybersecurity expert, that we should be mindful of the number of admin on your WhatsApp group. Remember, you have a WhatsApp group, you have admin like 7, 10, just because, I don't know why. If one or two of them has very porous security concern in the device and his phone is hacked, the entire members on that platform will also be affected. He told us so much more. Of course, our other security expert, Chris Idoko, actually also threw light into how we can stay safe around us. Anyhow, I have with me, just to starting off our conversation today, we have Aya Iroko. Aya Iroko is a cybersecurity expert. Aya, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Security consultant. He's a security consultant. Aya, thank you very much for coming around.
Thanks for having me, sir.
I saw you shaking your head when I talked about the fact that having too many admin is actually dangerous.
Yeah,
true?
it is.
Okay.
It is, because if the admin is hacked, everyone on the list becomes vulnerable.
Yeah.
So it's not a risk you want to take. So many people are fallen victim of that.
Yes, you know that thing that they'll send you the picture of someone with goiter, a child that is dying. You know, like I belong to a group, and suddenly someone, a trusted person, someone we expect should know better, was a post came from the person's phone on the group, and people were concerned, hey, how can we help this person now? Then someone had said, why don't you call him to be sure that his phone is not hacked? And we called him, and he said he doesn't even know that anything like that is happening. He had his phone with him.
Yeah. One of the issues is that WhatsApp, to be precise, there is the 2 security verification process.
Yeah,
a whole lot of people try to ignore it. You know, Nigerians, we have this always in a hurry to want to do stuff. You don't read through, we ignore it. And the moment you ignore it, you become a victim. Anything can just happen. The times are changing. It's not like 1960, 1970 any longer. This is 2021. Everything is changing. And when I say everything is changing, including how criminals operate.
Okay,
they don't have to be analog any longer. It's now digitalized.
How criminals operate? I don't know. Maybe later we'll talk about it. I had thought about talking about you know, the amputee girl in Lagos.
The what?
That amputee girl, you know, showed in Lagos that was selling pure
water. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I think I read the story.
Yes. Do you know that I only just discovered that the Lagos state government found out that it's actually a fraudulent act? That I'm serious. Yes, that was the look I had when I found out too.
What do you mean fraud? Because
yes, because that when they made inquiry, they found out that it's actually a syndicate. She comes to so she did that. The target was to get Lagos state government. She has been able to raise up to 25 million. She was actually remitting the money to somebody. It's a whole complicated war. I don't know, but I hope within the course of the program, anyone who had more information about that can actually share with us. But let's talk about, before we get to talk cybersecurity.
This is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I know. You
know, one of the negative impact this will cause is genuine people would not want to help any longer. Okay.
Talking about genuine people not wanting to help any longer, sometimes around us, I have a help.
Okay.
Yeah, then, or rather, maybe
domestic help
at home. yeah, or even a driver, then because my friend's help or driver had this case of the driver having plotting the death of the boss or stuff like that. So how safe can we be when we are engaging these people, the domestic help at home?
Staff at home.
Yes.
Well, there are several procedures. There is no cut-out answer on how to go about that.
But can't I just ask my sister's brother's daughter's son, who has someone in the village who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, to finally refer me to
and look at
somebody?
the procedures you're going through. How many people have you mentioned to get this person? You just said brother, sister, like 7, 8 people. Now, like I said, we have companies who do staff vetting.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Vetting.
We have companies who do staff vetting, and one of the advantages of engaging such companies are like when you sign indemnity with them, they stand for whoever you are employing, be it driver, be it domestic staff, gardener, or whatsoever. Because if anything goes wrong, you have them to be held responsible. Now, you can't be so much careful to get it 100% when you're employing a domestic staff in your house. We don't want to leave everything to luck, no. But again, there are certain basics you should know. Basics. We also have those who have scammed other people. Say there are companies who recruit staff for domestic people. And by the time they are giving you someone, they are giving you people who they've arranged and planned their own itinerary with, just to either dupe you or to harm you or to hurt you. We've had cases like that. However, I think it won't be out of place to say, get reliable companies who do vetting. Get them who do, they are out there, they do vetting, and they give you people who they trust. And if anything goes wrong, you have them to be held responsible. For me, that's the best advice I would give.
All right, last week I spoke with the guest who was here. We talked about like the case of the lady who went to look for a job and got killed at the job. So, I mean, and so won't we be a little too, can I be a little too careful when I mean, many people are looking for jobs, and at the company online, or someone tells me, oh, I see a poster for a job and I go there. How safe can I be in such a situation? Also, let's also quickly answer this. I meet a boyfriend online, then we got talking and everything, then either he comes around or I come around. Yeah, we can't say all people you meet online are fraudsters.
No, we can't say that.
How can we stay safe there?
One of the first things I would say is when you're conscious of your environment and your personality, a whole lot of things won't come to you as surprise or shock. Number one, let's take the one of you meet someone online. Boyfriend, girlfriend, as the case may be, he either comes or you go to meet him. The first thing you should put into place is you need to find out who this person is. Do your background check. We can't be too careful about that.
Yeah,
no doubt.
true.
We can't be too, no degree of being careful regarding that is too much. That's one. Two, when you do your background check about this person, if things are not adding up, I think that's a signal. Number three, you're meeting for the first time.
How do I do background check? Like ask somebody or?
Yeah, it could be one of them. You could ask somebody about the person. There are companies who do that as well.
Oh.
Yes. They do background check of people.
Okay.
Yeah, you might want to engage them if you're serious about it.
Yeah, but you know, it's not everybody that have the money to engage them. Anyhow, continue.
Yeah, so now you're meeting this person for the very first time. I don't think it's nice to have a private meeting. Make it a public place for the very first time.
Yeah, but online, I feel like I've known it all my life.
No, that's online. That's virtual relationship.
Virtual reality.
It's different from reality. The reality is now, Iroko is seated with Cecil. This is reality, right?
Okay.
Virtual, I could put a woman's face on my Facebook profile, and you think you're chatting with a lady.
I know, right?
You know it happens.
Yes, very,
So
very.
for me, the first approach is meet in a public place. When you're meeting in a public place, maybe the second time you want to meet him with either a relation. You want to also go there with a relation. Don't be so much in hurry to want to get into that private life with this person.
Yes.
No, it's
yeah.
not nice.
Okay, now You know, sometimes they'll say you have to study
someone's psychology.
yes, just understand the person. So how can I get to work on this psyche to know that, okay, this guy, there's something a little fishy about him. What are the signs I see? What are the things he says? What are some of the, you know, the pointers to knowing that, okay, there's something a little fishy about this guy, I should be watchful?
Okay, that sounds like a psychological question, and I'm not a psychologist,
Okay.
but I'll just say a few things about that. One of the things we know about liars, they are not consistent. You know, if someone is telling lies, the person will never be consistent in data or in giving information. And for example, he tells you he's in number 12, Shomolu Street in Bariga. The next time you're meeting, he's still, you know, returning Shomolu Bariga, but is now number 13A. There's no consistency. The other time he lies that he's been to Canada before. And another time you're having conversation, he said, no, I've actually been to Japan. There's no
said Canada.
No, actually, it's not. I have been to Canada too, but you know, I also went to Japan.
But you told me it was in 2017.
Well, was it 2017? Now, there's no consistency.
Nice.
There's no consistency. So these are pointers. Again, such person will not be so quick to introduce you to people around him. Especially if the person is from a kind of family where they have values, but he decides to be the black sheep of the family. He doesn't want anything good around him. For you to see anything good around him.
All right. So, well, these are very important pointers.
Yeah, they are pointers.
They are very important pointers we should note. Okay. We'll get back to talking more on security. When we get back from this, we're going to take a feature now. This feature is taking a look at some of the facts and figures that we need to know as regards online safety, cybersecurity, what you need to know. When we get back, we'll delve into talking about our safety on our devices.
Online and offline scams, as well as identity thefts, have swept the world like a wildfire, consuming all those gullible in its path. According to Javelin Strategy and Research, $56 billion, which is just over 23 trillion naira, was lost to financial fraud in 2020. And of that amount, identity fraudsters stole $43 billion in the US alone. The Nigerian Interbank Settlement Systems, NIBSS, reported that from January to September of last year, companies lost over 5 billion naira to scammers. The NIBSS reports that the modus operandi of the fraudsters are either through the mobile phone channels, web, or POS transactions with rates of success as high as 330%, 173% and 215% respectively. Of the over 48,000 people who fell prey to the scam between January to September of the same year, those above 41 years of age were 33.97%, those between 31 to 40, 27%. Young people between the ages of 21 to 30 amount to 31%, while victims below 20 years of age were 6%. With this huge amount of money lost and more people falling victims, here are a few tips to consider before you click on that link. Number 1. Don't give out financial information. Never reveal sensitive information to a stranger or enter such into a business you do not know. Scammers may either call or email you asking you for account details while claiming your account has a problem. Number 2, never click on a strange link in emails. If you receive an email from a stranger or strange company asking you to click on a particular link and asking you to enter your account details, be watchful, and if not convinced of the source, use the delete button. Number 3, use strong passwords. Never use passwords that are easy to crack, like 12345 or your name. It is recommended that letters and numerals are used. Capitalizing some of the letters is encouraged. Number 4, don't download software from pop-up windows. When online, be cautious of pop-up windows. Among the pop-ups is one that claims your computer is unsafe. If you click on it, you just may have succeeded in inviting malwares which may damage your operating system. While we continue our engagement on our various devices, remember, before you click, think.
All right, thank you very much, Dan. That feature is put together by Ben Ocholi. All right, I talked about the fact that when we get back from that feature, we'll talk about many things that you guys have been asking that have almost crushed my device. Yes, and it's very good that you send this in. And now to do justice to talk on the issues of cyber security, online safety, we have a cyber security expert with us. He is Murtala Abdullahi. Murtala, welcome.
Pleasure.
All right, thank you very much, Murtala. Quickly, let's go straight up to some of the messages we received last week. Someone is asking this question. She says, please ask the cybersecurity expert to explain more about phishing. It's one of the ways Facebook and other social accounts are hacked. Can you just take that very quickly, because there's so much more we're going to talk about. Phishing. What's phishing?
Yeah, phishing. Okay, that's a very interesting one. Phishing is a way the cyber criminals use psychological manipulation. This time they do it by sending an email to you. Like they pretend to be from a reputable organization. Let's say they send you a job scam mail, telling you that there's an employment at so organization, just to lure you into clicking a link in the email. So when you click this link, you get redirected to a fake website that looks like the real one
website.
But unless you're able to analyze the address, that's the URL, then you will discover that it's actually a fake website. So
URL.
all they needed.
So I mean, you when you say you're looking at the URL, is that one we talk about the HTTPS?
Correct.
Yeah, but is it not possible that one with an S could still be fraudulent?
You can have it with the S, but if it's ebay.com, it is ebay.com. You cannot have duplicate
of ebay.com.
Yes, domain names.
Okay.
So you can never have ebay.com
Twice. That takes you to the same site.
No.
Yeah.
So it's either they do this by manipulating the text to look like it's eBay, but when you analyze it properly, it's very important. That's why when I get email, when you get emails like that, the best thing to do is, instead of clicking the links, go to the site, type it in your URL by yourself, and go to the site and ask and check if it's
yes.
But I don't advise you to click on the link
immediately. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about online shopping scam. Good afternoon, guys. Thank you for a great job you're doing. My question has to do with online shopping with our cards. How secure is it? Some gateways, there's something about, let's talk about how can you shop with your card and be safe. There's someone else says, please, all this cash online loan system that asks for a BVM. Some of these online people that ask you for
quick cash,
they're going to give you loan.
Yeah.
So for you to access the loan, they say enter details like your BVM. So this person is asking, how safe is it? So these are two questions: shopping online, and I have to enter my card details.
And
Am I
supply
safe?
your BVN to get a loan.
Okay, that's another very interesting question.
Yeah.
So let's take it this way. You see, this shopping online stuff, I do shop online very well. I buy a lot of things from various websites.
You are different from the rest of us. Don't worry.
Different, but it's safe if you know the website and you can check for some certain things, like the site is secured and there are kind of certifications on the bottom of the site.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't follow the links. Maybe a link from an email telling you to go to the site. No. If you're going to ebay.com, you go to Google, search ebay.com and go to it. Make sure that it's secured and try to look for. And there's also some advice I give before you buy anything on an e-commerce site. try to check reviews.
Yeah.
Very,
From
very important.
Those who have patronized the website.
Because, yes, watch and check for verified users. There are verified users and there are users that are not verified. There are spammers and there are verified. So the website identifies the genuine buyers who actually bought the product and gave back feedback.
Oh, okay.
Genuine feedback.
Can't reviews also be arranged?
That's why I said yes.
Yeah,
Because I've accessed sites that I get to see that these reviews are fake.
You're right. You're very correct. Now, there's a way you checkmate that.
Okay.
On most websites have verified buyers. These buyers actually bought the product genuinely, and beside that particular user, you're going to see a sign indicating this is a verified buyer.
Okay.
But the spammers, we call them spammers, those who come to promote that company. That is the e-commerce company, because you can have a website, for example, like AliExpress, that has multiple stores, but you only choose the best from your reviews.
Okay.
Your ability to analyze reviews or feedbacks from previous customers will determine, will help you a lot in shopping online.
Sorry, Cecil, there's something I want to ask Muri. This is
we're all
field.
learning.
Yeah, okay. You're the cyber guy here.
Yeah.
Back to the URL stuff. Is it case sensitive? When I mean case sensitive, because there are sometimes, like she said, a singular S could make the difference, right? Now, if a singular S can make the difference, is it case sensitive? Does it have to be capital letters all through? If the genuine one is actually capital letter all through, or is it combination of both capital and small letters?
That's another very, very sensitive
Because someone
question.
actually fell victim of just small letter C in a website that took him elsewhere completely, and he lost serious amount of money.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Well, interestingly, you may be surprised to find out that in your URL, issue of case sensitivity does not exist.
Okay.
In
There's
your
nothing
URL, it's all small letters.
If you type CNN in capital letters, if you type nta.com.ng in capital letter, you get the same thing regardless. But don't make the mistake of adding an N after the NTA. .com.ng or .org.ng. So a single mistake, you can even try it by yourself, because if you type CNN instead of 2N you add 3, you discover that it will take you to a domain name and tell you this domain name is available for sale. It's something you can try.
Verify.
Yes. So make sure you're spelling your site correctly. So you're right with what you said. By default, if you don't type in the URL correctly, there's a tendency that you're going to be redirected to a site.
Okay. All right. Let's quickly. We have so much to cover. Let's start from social engineering. Social engineering, we've heard that a whole lot. Big terminologies. Can you please break down for us?
Okay. Let me break it down the way you want it. Okay.
Sorry, just before you go there, please be part of this conversation. You can start sending in your questions. Start sending in your questions or your contributions. Ask as much questions as you can, because at the end of this program, that's gonna be it. All right, our number is 081-177-8-2020. I take it again, 081-177-8-2020, and it's showing on your screen at this point. All right, I'm sorry I had to cut you short. We need to be part of this so they can ask you as much questions as possible. Social engineering, you were explaining.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, social engineering, this social engineering question is a very, very important one, because most of the attacks are not actually sophisticated hacking attacks on your emails. Okay. No, they don't break into your email and take your password easily. No, you get manipulated into divulging certain things that are meant to be only known to you. So the trick now, using luring you either by sending you an email, not, let's say by the same into clicking into an email or responding to an email. That is why it's called social engineering. You're socially manipulated. You're manipulated into saying something you're not supposed to say.
Okay.
Like, let me bring you back to the previous event program we had, which I told you. Social engineering, let's say, the conventional 419 scam we know. The social engineering is the version where you have to go online on the internet to send somebody email. Instead of going directly to him and trying to deceive him into giving you his money and promising him dollars.
So you're doing it social.
Correct. So now
media.
use the social media and engineer him into clicking a mail and filling a form in order to get his password. So by doing that, you have socially engineered him into giving you his password. They now use the original password and take it to the actual site.
Okay, and people still fall for that, right?
People fall. In short, social engineering is the most successful attack on individuals in WhatsApp, in Facebook, in Twitter, in Instagram, in virtual all social media platforms.
Now, part of the very many questions that came in for you last week had to do with my WhatsApp account has been hacked. Two-step verification. How can I get this? They're sending messages to my contact for money.
Yeah.
All right, that has been a recurring question. And even today, people even ask that question. So what are some of the tricks hackers use, and how can we get to follow them bumper to bumper?
Yes, we need to follow them bumper to bumper. Else, they'll keep following us bumper to bumper.
I know.
And duping people.
Yes,
bumper to bumper.
because
My
by the time they hit your bumper, you hit the other person's bumper. Yes, by the time they get into your contact, they'll take
Have
other
access
people's
to other
contacts.
people's contacts.
Okay, how do they really do this?
Correct. So they do this by manipulating you into giving them access to your WhatsApp contact, especially groups. WhatsApp groups.
WhatsApp group.
Yes, WhatsApp groups are the most vulnerable. And why do these things happen? They happen because we don't have the administrators of these platforms don't have the basic knowledge of information security management.
Those groups, yeah.
So
I agree with you.
And so they take careless decisions that allow the hacker to socially engineer it into changing their number to the hacker's number.
Oh.
So now you will see the same name, but then the number is for the hacker. So imagine I see a person like Cecil in a group, and I know her reputation. When she sent a message, I want to check it because I know her reputation. I know her personality. I know she wouldn't want to do anything that is wrong. You get it? So that's the trick. They look at them as someone who is reliable and trustworthy on the platform and use him now to send. As soon as you click that message, is either they bug your phone or they penetrate the group. From there, they can send you links from pornographic sites, which as soon as you click, they install malware into you. There are a lot of ways they infiltrate you, but most of the time it comes from the groups in the in WhatsApp. But in Facebook, they can send you an attachment. Okay, imagine I receive an attachment from you, a document, which we never discussed about. And you never called me telling me that you're sending a document. It will be a very huge mistake for me to click this document. Yes, this is one of the biggest mistakes people make. Second, thirdly, people use their phone numbers. When I know your email address and I know your phone number, I can just do a busy penetration test by adding your email and your phone number, and I get access to your Facebook. So these are the biggest blunders people make. And some people can just use their password as password. Nobody does that anymore. Or you put your plate number of your car.
Okay, how can I mix my password to make it strong? You know, there is one that say weak, strong. So how can I be?
Correct.
How can I get it?
I think the strong one has to be a combination of numbers, alphabets,
capital letters,
of course, and all the hashtag, stuff like that.
Alphanumeric keys, numbers. No, let's see. Yes, special characters rather.
Special
Characters. Yes.
And
you're very correct.
Okay.
Yes.
How often should I change my password? Because I mean, you guys tell us change your passwords as often as 3 months. Maybe I hear different versions of this thing. But we forget. If I have to keep changing it, I'll just forget it.
Very good.
How should I do it?
Okay, my advice for that is avoid saving your password on website if you know you can't change passwords frequently. Because people easily forget their passwords. So try to make sure your password is at least 12 characters long, and at the same time combination of all the necessary things. In short, there are websites that you cannot create a password if you don't meet up with the minimum requirements, which include one uppercase at least.
At least, yeah. I'm aware of that.
Then one lowercase at least, one number at least, one special character at least.
Oh, okay.
So I think that is one of the minimum requirements. But at the same time, it is recommended that you change your password frequently, at least.
Maury, let me ask you a question. Sorry, Cecil.
Yes, in fact, right now we're both learning.
Yeah,
Please.
I want to ask him something. Youths of this generation, well, at times they have they are very much active on all social media. You have WhatsApp, Facebook,
Yeah,
Instagram,
we call them
Twitter,
millennials.
and all of that.
Their life is,
Millennials.
The
millennials.
next generation. Is it advisable to have same password for all of your social media accounts?
I was just going to ask that.
I'm coming because your advice is you change every 3 months at least, and you have to involve the numbers, alphabets, special characters, and the likes. Imagine you, for it. Okay, don't let me use you. You're an expert. Cecil she's active on 6 different social media and platforms. Is it okay to have all 6 platforms same password, or she must have 6 different passwords and she has to change them every 3 months?
In short, you've raised a very, very important point, because this is one of the biggest mistakes people make. And that's why, you see, as soon as a single social media account of theirs is hacked, every other one get hacked simultaneously.
Very easy.
Yes. So, is one of the most dangerous things to do. You shouldn't repeat your password.
Wow.
Wait.
Every site should come with its unique password.
So, wait, like 6 password and 6 strong, complicated password I should remember. But you know, it's going to be hard for me to remember them. So, can I save them somewhere?
Correct. That's another very important question, because we now have applications. On my phone, I don't sign in every time on a particular website. I have a software on my phone that pulls off my password. I save them in the app. You can buy a lot of apps online. You can have 1 million passwords, and when you have that app, all you need to do, as soon as you go to the site and type in your email, automatically pop up the password for you.
Okay.
Then tells you to use your fingerprint to log in. You don't need to type it again.
What if it's a phone that doesn't have the fingerprint, app?
Well, most phones now do have fingerprint apps.
Sure.
And most smartphones for now
have fingerprint.
Yes. So, as the technology evolves, there's kind of evolution going on right now. I don't think if you really want to do a smart work, you need a smartphone. And if you need a smartphone, you need a smarter phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you even need the smartest phone. So, and definitely a smartphone will come with a fingerprint.
A fingerprint.
And alternatively, you can log into the app and choose the password you want to log in with.
Okay,
By
now
clicking of the app, if you want to log into Facebook, you have a single password for the app, then every other password is saved within the app.
do I need to log out of my email, Facebook, and all accounts whenever I'm not on it? Should I have to keep logging out of it? Facebook, I just check it, I log out, then in 30 minutes or 1 hour time, I go back, I log in, or how do I do this?
It seems Cecil really, really took her time to attack me this afternoon, because the way she's invading me with these kind of questions, they all sound very, very important. Sure, they're actually very, very important. You see, I don't advise people to save their password on browsers. Let's take this device, for example. When you go to, this is an Android device, right?
Yes.
When you go to your Play Store or App Store, you download an app which is designed by the vendor of that particular service. If it's Gmail, there's a Gmail app. If it's Hotmail, there's a Hotmail app. But for websites, I do not recommend you. I don't advise that you save your password on a browser. But you can download a Facebook app, which is designed by Facebook and receives updates frequently to patch security flaws or 0 days. So that, I think that's one of the best way.
I think WhatsApp just did one recently. If you change your security setting, WhatsApp notifies me the moment I, click your own chats and I want to chat. WhatsApp notifies me that you've changed your security setting.
Yeah,
I think it's a new update.
What's that? I keep seeing that. Even
It's a
in
new
groups.
update, yeah.
So how does that work?
Is it in yellow font?
Yeah.
Is it lemon green or something like that?
Something like that.
You're right. It's an option you choose. If you make a change, you click the checkbox. If you want your contact to be notified when you make changes, and I advise that it's very important that you check that box, because by checking that box,
where is the box?
if there's any change,
I think it's in the settings.
In the settings,
yeah.
Okay.
Privacy. Yes. So when you tick that box, if there's anything happening to your WhatsApp, instantly your contact will notify you. Okay. They'll call you. Cecil, did you change anything? Or are you sure are you the person?
So the action is actually worth it.
Yes, very well.
So we're advising.
So it's an option you can decide to let your contacts know that you're making changes, or you uncheck the box to make it silent.
Okay, so maybe before the end of the program, you may remember where it is. So when we get to settings, privacy, later you can take us through before the end
security.
Security.
Yes.
Okay, so what am I looking out for?
When
there?
you're doing a reset, password reset, it gives you the option by default. The option is there. Yes. Whenever you're doing, you're making changes.
Accounts.
It shows.
Is it privacy or security? I'm going to. Okay. Anyhow, we'll check that out later. All right. Quickly, let me. Someone is asking a question about. Please, what's the name of the app of which we can save password? Yeah. So you mentioned that there's an app you use to save passwords. This person is asking that. What's the app?
Ask him after
Okay.
I don't know, because I don't start advertising products.
Okay.
But what I'll tell you is just go to your Play Store or Google Store and type password saver. You're going to see a lot of them. And how do you choose the best out of them? You read reviews. Always read reviews when choosing an app.
How safe are your passwords with
them
those apps?
Well,
give me, Murray, we are here as
I know, but
security,
he's a security expert.
Yeah,
so
how safe are actually those passwords with the apps?
I cannot tell you there's 100% safety, because those companies could be breached.
Yeah.
Just like we have when Sony was breached, PlayStation users were, millions of them were. So I can tell you that I can recommend the best for you, the most reliable. But if I tell you security has 100%.
Oh no, I know. I wasn't expecting that either.
All right, let's take this person.
Yes.
This person, did you write your name? Please do write your name whenever you're writing. It says, I have once been, okay, well, he said something like, I've once won $200,000 and asked to get an affidavit of claim asking for transfer of the sum from a CBN of Lagos to my personal account. A process I went as far as getting the affidavit from the High Court of Abuja signed by, well, he's just sending me, the question is, why should the High Court issue me an affidavit of claim? Now, you didn't, of claim of the sum when it should be confirmed. It's complicated, so you may just want to...
Speak to your lawyer.
Speak to your lawyer, or send me the message again clearly so that I can get to understand what you're talking about. Hello, please. What about all the bank fraud? How can we escape from it when some of the bankers are also fraudsters because they know all about your BVN and your related link? It's possible, right, that you could get insider information?
Oh, sure, you can. It's very possible. Well, like you said, there's no 100% safety or security anywhere. I think in cases like this, the bank should be held responsible. Because if you employ a staff and your staff is not trained enough to know that it is criminal to, dupe people or go ahead and commit fraud against people's accounts, you should hold the bank responsible. Is that not what the person is asking?
Well, it's, yes, it's just wanting to know that, just telling you that some of the bankers inside are also those who give the link to these fraudsters to hack your account.
Oh, okay, giving link to fraudsters.
Yeah, because like they say, they always have insider information, right?
Yes, let me just give you a scenario, and this one happens frequently. You see, there's this technique going on in the street. You see, mostly the target ladies. When they see you walking, they like snatch your bag. So when they snatch your bag, You might think they're after the phone, but in fact, their interest is your SIM card. So when they get the SIM card, they have a syndicate. They try, there's a person in the group, there's someone who is specialized in welcoming back SIM cards. There are people who are specialized in bringing out your BVN from your SIM card.
Oh, wow.
And now they have guys in the bank who will now approve the transaction when it's performed. Because you need the approval from the bank. You know?
For transaction to go through.
So when they take your SIM card, they put it in the phone, they get your BVN. If that SIM card is attached to any of your bank accounts, be sure that in a few minutes, your money is gone, because they don't take chances. So I keep telling people, implement PIN lock on your SIM.
PIN lock on your SIM?
Yes. If you know you're banking with a particular SIM, make sure you implement PIN lock.
Okay, take us through how to do that very quickly.
When you go to your phone, just go to your settings. There's a search box at the top of your Android. I think at the top of your settings, just type in SIM lock. It's going to pop out with the steps to follow. And when you lock up your SIM,
no any other device can use that SIM.
If you put the SIM in any phone, there's no way you can have access to the SIM.
Except the password.
Except you have
Even
that.
you forget, probably you misplace your phone and you've forgotten the password. By the time you bring it back, it's not going to work.
Okay, now, Murtala, you are just giving us a whole lot of headache and making our heart pump really fast. So, we are going to take a musical break now. One of our viewer, all based in Abuja here, he's been following our program, and he put together a kind of an interesting music video. But okay, I think we'll pause before we take that. Let's quickly take some questions because we have very limited time. Very many questions. What's RFID fraud? RFID, I don't know.
Yes, RFID fraud.
RFID fraud.
You see, the RFID fraud is something that will happen to you and you'll never know it happened.
Really?
The reason is, all I need to do is hold maybe my bag and walk close to you. Without your knowledge, I would have taken all the details of your ATM card in your pocket.
Is there a device
RFID,
that does that?
Radio frequency identifier.
What?
Yes.
Did you just...
I can just start a transaction, input all the details. All I need to do is touch Cecil on her pocket, and the transaction is approved. That is one of the most dangerous one.
And we already have it here?
We have it. And it's happening. A lot of people don't even know how it happened. When it happens, you don't know because...
You're scaring me.
Yes, you are scaring me.
Yeah.
I'd rather go and withdraw my money and put it under my mattress or something.
And if you're traveling abroad, you're even at more risk, because here is not just sophisticated, because it requires a lot of technological know-how.
Advancement.
Yes. So, but in places, if you travel frequently, you have to have a pause that is resistant to that. You don't just put your ATM card, your wallet is not enough.
Oh.
Yes. They just walk past you with a device in their bag, done.
I don't know.
The transaction, like any amount of money.
How do they say that thing? If the prey doesn't learn to fly without missing, the hunter should learn to shoot without missing. I don't know. Just a whole lot of... But just don't break our hearts further. We'll come back to that later. Father John Well, Peterside. He's been watching the program and he put quite an interesting music video together. He says it's a pledge to Nigeria. Let's unite. He calls it. Let's take a little of it as a breather, and then Muri will continue to break our hearts.
Nigerians, unite! I pledge Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. Serve Nigeria with all my strength to defend our unity and humble and glory. So help me, O Lord, help me, O Lord, help me, O Lord. I pledge Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. Serve Nigeria with all my strength to defend our unity and humble and glory. So help me, O Lord, help me, O Lord, help me, O Lord. Remember Nigeria is the Zion land. Don't you know Nigeria is the giant of Africa? Nothing on this earth that will stand on our way. Nothing on this earth that will tear us apart. Whether we live or die, whether we live or die. Let's save Nigeria with love and strength and faith. Oh yeah. Let's save with our might, one nation bound in freedom. Oh yeah. Let's save with our might, one nation bound in freedom. Oh yeah. No more injustice, no bribery, no more corruption, no more cultism, no hard drugs, no armed robbery, no more persecution, no slavery, no brutality, no child trafficking, no more children of the street, no more segregation, no more discrimination, no more ritual killing, no more terrorism, no more ritual killing, no more terrorism. Nigerians unite, 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 unite. 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 I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. To serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity, and uphold honor and glory. So help me.
Yeah, let's pledge to Nigeria country to be faithful, loyal, and honest. Yeah, we should also try to do that. I don't know, but thank you very much for the Peter side. Okay, now let's get back. We have very limited time and there's so much to talk about. Cookies, Murtala cookies. You know that when you get to the website at the bottom, there is something that write cookies settings, and many times they expect you to say okay before you go ahead with this. Right. How safe are those? What are cookies and how safe are those?
Cecil, don't you like cookies?
Yeah, if you're going to give me cookies to eat, why not? If
Even
not...
the name sound enticing, you know. So you get bribed to collect your information. Let me take it. It's a very important question. So let me take it this way. You see, when you visit a website, these websites also use their sites to get advertisement.
Okay.
So how do they know your interest, the pages you visited on their website? They could have 10 million pages or 5,000 pages, but they want to know the specific page you visited to know your interest. So now the work of these cookies is to track your digital footprint. Now, if I go to a particular website that sells shoes and I went for a particular product, maybe Adidas, you discover that when next I come back to the site, you discover that, or when I go to another site, I will still see those shoes on the other side. Yeah. How do you think that happens? It's the cookies that are tracking your movement. So they follow you everywhere you go because they are on your browser. That's why I advise people, if you know you're not sure, me saving cookies is the last thing I do.
So if the site says you cannot go ahead without clicking OK?
I just withdraw.
Well, okay, well, it's not like they're hacking anything. They're just going to be bombarding you with their product, right?
Correct. But let me tell you something. Do you know that the websites sell your information to advertising companies that advertise products?
Okay.
Like Google AdSense is responsible for following you to where you're going to. How did you know you came to a particular shopping e-commerce site and checked a shoe, and when you move to CNN and you see the same shoe in CNN popping up? You get the idea?
Actually, I've seen
so
that.
So they actually follow your digital footprint. And who does that? The cookies.
Okay, let's move on very quickly. I hope we get to understand cookies. Now, let's talk about ATM card trapping. I don't know. You've talked about last week, you put your ATM in the POS. If it doesn't go, it's supposed to go like 30% to 40%. Yes. If it goes all the way in, it's possible that they are cloning your card. Now, what about the ATM card trapping? I put it in a machine or something and it swallows it. I mean, just explain that to us. I've heard that term.
Correct. I don't know if you've had this experience. You went for transaction. You perform a transaction on a machine.
ATM.
After the transaction, your card doesn't come out.
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Okay, that means your card is trapped. And what's the aim of that? Let's say when your card is trapped now, let's say you're on a queue or there's someone next to you. It could be the person that has implemented that ATM card trapping. So he's waiting for you to seek for help. As soon as you leave, they'll use a clip to pull the card Now they have your ATM card.
What? No, but the card is not stored inside the
machine.
ATM.
That trapping, there's something they slot inside to trap the card. So as soon as you leave, they will use teasers to pull the card out before you come back.
How did they get access into the machine to put whatever it is to track the card, to trap the card?
Very good. You know what? You see, there's a slot where you insert your card. All they need to do is to place something on the head of that looks similar to where you slot your card. So if the card goes in, all they need to do is to pull that head and leave. And nobody notices, unless if there's a camera there.
Speaking the whole thing.
Yes, so it's the whole trick. So as soon as you do that, they've gotten your card, them.
Oof.
So when something like that happens to you, you see a lot of people do the.
You're full of good news and bad news.
I know, right?
Most people run out to call for help from the securities.
From the bank,
you're not supposed to leave the place. Do not leave the place where your card is trapped. Call the security guard. But even though we have issues of insiders who are also involved, because sometimes we have the insiders, sometimes even the securities in the bank could be involved.
Yes.
But make sure you call at least. Don't leave there. Make sure you get them to come. Because if there's somebody there, you leave that place, the person will just come and pick the card. And
when they don't tell you, come back on Monday.
When they say come back on Monday, you're going to get your card. If you don't leave there until you call the security. Because they know now your card, they can't take your card. Because before you left there, you called them. And they witnessed it. And they are supposed to be there and watch over the machines. And sometimes you see there are rogue ATM machines where you see in a location where, very funny location. Some of those machines are not actual genuine ATM machines. They're actually designed for that purpose.
Oh, wow.
Because now you can see we introduced the idea of placing ATM machines in organizations. Like in my organizations, we have ATM machines. In road safety, very close to my place, they have two.
Okay.
You know, away from the banks. So you might just see an ATM machine thinking it's a genuine one, but you don't know that it's a rogue machine.
All right, I hope we have been addressing most of your concerns on the program. Murtala has been talking to us about cybersecurity. And of course, Ayo Iroko has also talked to us about security. And at a point, he turned to be my co-interviewer. Anyhow, we're both learning, which is very important. I like the positions you're taking. But your questions you're coming up with, we have quite a number of your messages coming in. And along the line, he has actually answered most of your questions. But just before he says bye-bye, he's going to recap how to keep your Facebook safe and your WhatsApp safe, because I still see many of your questions coming in that regard. Quickly, let's take this one on click link messages. Someone sent a link to a group I'm in, and after clicking on it, I didn't see anything. Please, what can I do to be sure that the virus did not spread on my phone? And that one said, hi sis, I was actually scammed last week. The person said I should send 1K to collect 5K. But I sent the 1K and didn't get 5K back. He actually paid me because that was my last card. And the guy is even my friend from WhatsApp. Good afternoon, I'm Nancy from where, I don't know. What if you have clicked on a website, but they have not hacked your... Okay, I didn't get your question. Oh, this is a very long one. This person is talking about a link from job in Canada he got. And when he got, and they told him to pay some money and everything to get a job, they should go to for visa. So when he went to the Canadian embassy, the guy's number stopped going through, and they told him they don't know anything about it. These are all click link scams. Can you just touch on it very, very briefly? All
right, that's another very important issue. This is especially this Canada issue. You know, this migration issue. Anything that has to do with migration, the first step I recommend is go to the embassy with the name of the company. Don't even click no link, but make sure you go to the embassy or call them to verify before you take any step. Don't take chances. That's my advice.
Okay.
Do not click links. Do not, because if you click the links, you might get infected, and So
all right, there is the last one I would like you to talk about very quickly, and that is text alerts. When you get some kind of funny alerts and you really don't get to understand it, can you do that in 30 seconds? Fake alerts, fake debit alerts.
Yes, fake debit alert is short. This one happens very, very frequent. You know, it's something that, especially when a client comes to your business and try to make transfer to you, there are some red flags to check for in such transactions. One of the major one is the time. When you look at the time from his own debit and you look at the time for your own alert, you discover that there's discrepancy of time. There's no way because usually they draft the alert and text it to you with a heading of your bank. They ask you, what bank are you using? They've drafted the SMS already. So they give it a heading and they forward it to you. Without looking at the number, a lot of people don't look at the number because it's not going to come up with the bank name direct. It's
But was my money actually debited? Yeah, they actually took my money. Would they have taken my money?
No, fake SMS alert is when the issue of fake SMS alert has to do with buyer and seller. Buyer and seller.
Okay.
I bought something from you. I made a transfer to you, and I showed you have been debited, and you got it.
Murtala, we have to go
SMS.
now. We're out of time already. Really, I would have wanted a word from you, but we're out of time. Can you do a word in 10 seconds just to tell us something?
Yeah, just be aware of your environment.
Be aware of your environment. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Last word from you. You cannot summarize. That's the thing. Can you do that in 10 seconds?
Yes. Try your best to read about information security awareness online. Do your Google search.
All right, and before you click, make sure you think. All right, thank you very much for being part of this program. The program will repeat on the NTA network service on Sunday by 3 p.m. My name is Cecil Egbele. We're going to do this again next week.